Ladies and gentlemen, it says we're live, and we must be live. It's 5:55, a little bit after, and this is Balcony Banter. And there we go, ladles and jelly spoons. This is Tim, Christina, Yuliani, and Ian. And we're all here on the island of Tenerife. Apart from Ian, who's probably in his bedroom.
But How did you guess? Okay. How did you guess?
He's got some nice sheets there on the back. No teddies today.
I don't see him yet. Oh, there he is.
Okay, yeah. Okay, you're behind because you're watching on your phone.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I got to turn mine off as well. I don't even know if anybody's watching. I think we're all alone because they're all going to go and see the McMaster, who's going live in 15 minutes.
It always looks like we're eating sushi. Like a little sushi bar. And then another little tapas is coming by.
Pleasanteeism is tonight's topic. I've got to watch these adverts that I can't skip anymore. I don't know why I can actually choose whether I have a non-skippable or skippable. And I always say skippable, but they put non-skippable in anyway. But I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching them. Oh, there we go. There we go. So who we got on? We have, there's loads on.
Yep.
Jeff Daniels, Pauline, Ian Miller, whoever he is, Phil Wilson. Hi guys, enjoyed the walk this morning. Come over to Lost Chris on Sunday. We'll try and get out for a walk with you, Phil. Just go to my website, timothydowd.com, and there you can send me an email and we'll organise it. Or if you go to the About page, my WhatsApp number is there. But please only use WhatsApp for immediate emergency communication. No cats, please. Right, Timmy, Moira's on, Jeff, Tricia Slater's on, Anne-Marie, Dern, Trucking, Cranky Pete, Evening All, Alf and Sue, David Butler, Glenn Barry, Tricia, Glenn, Jeff, Pauline, Anthony's on. Good evening, Anthony. Thank you again for your wonderful support earlier. Tricia, Done Trucking, had a game of silent tennis today. It's just the same as ordinary tennis, but without the racket. Don't forget your hat and coat on the way out. I think everybody's Sarah Childs, Christian Moose, good evening. Or Mouse, it's Mouse, isn't it? Or
Mouse.
Mouse.
Yeah.
Mouse.
Hallo, goedenavond, Christian.
Good evening, everyone, says Alan Frieza. Charlie's on. Don't even know the McMaster was live until you just said, Tim. He's with what's his name? He's with Darren John, and they're both planning to come to Tenerife. He's coming next week, and Darren's coming in June. So if you want to go over to live to see him, that's okay by us. But you can also watch him on catch up, or you can watch us on catch up. So it depends who you want to ignore your comments. So if you want us to ignore your comments, then stay here. And if you want them to ignore your comments, go over there.
But the guys have got a phone and an iPad. You could have one person on the phone and you could have somebody on the iPad.
And they've got two eyes as well. They've got two eyes.
And a pad.
There you are.
Goedemorgen, Geuder, jullie Tien.
Ja, goedenavond. Goed jullie te zien, hè? Ja, dat vinden wij ook, hè?
Goed jullie te zien. I can't speak any Dutch, I'm afraid. Yes, dry with a bit of sun, Alan. There you go. We're coming at the end of August, says Christian.
Ah, okay.
No, thank you, Tim. Thumbs up. Thank you very much, Jeff, for sticking with us there. Joanna's staying with us. Well, I think most of you will stay with us because we're having a serious discussion today. I received a fantastic video from our friend Ian in the corner over there. Ian in the corner. And I spent the whole day tidying up the audio. And then I realized there was no background audio, right? So it just it sounded like he was just talking into a pillow. So I got rid of all the background sounds, but then it just sounded totally unrealistic. So to make it realistic, I created a background ambience and put it in at the back. So all the sound you're hearing, I created. Okay. That's
Fantastic.
I've got to tell you that first because you wouldn't believe me afterwards.
What did you say about my vlog 21? I sound tinny, you said.
Tinny.
No? Tinny. Tiny tinny.
But from the Knights of Ni.
Tinny. So, Ian, you sound tinny too.
No. He was muffled. No, I think his sound was great, actually. The sound was great, Ian, I must admit. But there was a couple of wind backgrounds that I got rid of and a little bit of stuff going. I couldn't get rid of all the screaming and shouting.
Right.
I did manage to get rid of get hold of some of the screaming and shouting.
Good. As long as
And that'll give you an idea of where he is.
Ooh. Give it away, give it away.
Give it away now. Give it away now. Okay, ladles and jelly spoons. So what we're going to start with, we're going to start with my story of the rent. So the rent's been sorted. We've been offered a new contract. It hasn't arrived yet, but they have said that they're going to prepare one. So it looks like we don't have to move from this wonderful, idyllic place, which is good. The bad news is there's no real negotiation on the price. But I am going to have a good look at the contract to make sure I'm not signing something that can chuck us out on.
Cheers, my dear.
Cheers, big ears. We're on the Tim and Black.
Yep.
Tim and Black. And so that's good news. So we're staying here. I got to get a job though to pay for it. It's got to pay me an extra $250 a month. So if you want any voiceovers doing, or if you want any work doing that I can moderate a workshop, a lessons learned workshop, or a kick-off meeting. If you're at work and you want someone to do a kick-off meeting, I will organise you all to fly out to Tenerife. I'm just going to cut Christina off there. We could organise you to fly out to Tenerife with your team, and I'll do a kick-off meeting and a learned lessons workshop. You're back in the room, kid. You know, there we go. Poor Christina.
No, I should be okay.
You should be okay now, she. Actually, we could actually save a camera if you die on screen, wouldn't we? Really?
Oh, come on.
She knows I'm only joking.
I wouldn't mind anyway.
This is Christina's island.
Help.
Right, ladles and jelly spoons. So what we're going to do, we are going to go threes up there. So we're all on the sushi bar again. Any questions?
Yeah, Sarah Childs asked, why don't you go into radio again?
You know, I only actually got a job in radio. I didn't actually take the job in radio. So, but the thing was, the only places, well, the guy that was offering the job couldn't pay, was the first thing. And the second thing is, I'm too lazy. I don't want to get up that early in the morning. And all the afternoon shows are taken. You know, I could do a late evening, not between midnight and 2. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's midnight now. We're going to have some sounds of the sea.
Your voice is much more midnight.
There you go. And the next one is going to be the balcony banter theme, maybe, I don't know. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, my license doesn't allow me to do that, you know. What I can't do, I pay this €13 a month for Epidemic Sound, but they say you can't just do a radio show of all their stuff. Oh. Which I was thinking of doing, actually. Just playing their stuff. You've got to have it as background music. You can't have it as the main thing, you know. Which is a shame. I'll ask him whether we can sort of like do it as a sort of a song in between what I'm saying, yeah? In between stories song.
Yeah.
So I don't actually present the music. I just say, while I'm thinking of the next story, listen to this. That's a Dowdism, is it? A Dowdism. Sonny leaving on a jet plane, there you go. Live chat on the phone, watching on the telly. Don't worry, Anne. Joe is great and shorter. I must have come in the middle of that conversation. Do radio show, says Marie, yeah. They always say I've got the best face for radio. You have a lovely, soothing voice. Thank you very much. Perfect voice for late night chat show. A chat show? I could do that from here, couldn't I? Yeah, but
A chacho.
yeah, but a chat show. But I would get paid if I did a chat show. I got to get paid, you see.
That's it.
There you go.
A chacho.
Bedtime story hour. I could do bedtime stories. The prologue.
Yes.
I'm actually good at reading. Live chat. Okay, pleasant. I mean, I don't know how to pronounce this, Ian, but I looked at the word absenteeism, which I know. So if you're an absentee, that means you don't come to work. And absenteeism is a problem of the workplace where people just take days off because they're sick, and sometimes it's because they're not right in the head. You know, they don't have. They think I just can't handle work today. I'm going to stay home and have a mental health day, and then that on the other side is called absenteeism. So I think that the pronunciation I would use would be Pleasanteeism. Is that right?
That's good enough. Yes.
Pleasanteeism. Although
Sure is.
I've never heard anybody say it like that.
Nope.
But
neither have I.
but
It's what I was
Pleasantism.
about to say. Yeah. Yes, it could be pronounced that way as well.
Pleasantism. Yeah.
So, to be honest, it looks like we're learning a new language. With all
Exactly.
these fancy words coming out, you know. I picked this. Actually came out in a very large survey way back. I think it was August last year. What I've done actually is I've went through it and I've picked out one or two wee bits and pieces I just want to highlight, you know, for you guys out there. I mean, first of all, I apologise for having a few strong topics in the past couple of weeks, but I feel it needs to be highlighted. It's all about going forward with a good mental health. I know last week we targeted one particular item, but this is a general item. I feel that's my opinion. So I think I would like just to make people aware of what's out in the workplace. And I think most of this has happened since the pandemic and people returning to work. See what you think, and let's have your comments and some ideas and maybe how to tackle it. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Ian. And this is the film.
Hello again. It does not seem a week since the last baby. So here we are again with another topic. This week's topic is Pleasantism. This has a bearing on our previous week's topics. The new workplace problem you should be made aware of following a recent survey has coined a new term to describe people's unhealthy habits. These terms include presentism, absenteeism, leavism. But recently, a new term to describe people's unhealthy working habits, the term appropriately named Pleasantism, refers to the pressure employees face to hide feelings of stress and anxiety. It alludes to the mask of pleasantries people put on when they want to hide their true feelings behind a more pleasant facade.
The risk of Pleasantism in the workplace. In recent years, there has been a push for businesses to be more open about mental health in the workplace, to create better support structures for employees, and to break stigmas and encourage conversation. In the UK alone, 14% of employees suffer from mental health condition at any given time, meaning that employers need to invest in appropriate support for managers and staff. A new phenomenon, however, is now on the table, or at least according to a recent August 2021 study. The study's findings have shown that the mental health and resilience of employees is further threatened by the rise in workplace Pleasantism brought about by the pandemic. Due to lockdowns and social distancing measures, many workers feel as though they are no longer able to open up and confide in others. This has had a negative impact on the nation's working life, with 40% of people stating they feel less resilient than they did before the pandemic. This statistic is particularly interesting because although 40% of the people are hiding how they truly feel at work, 40% of respondents also noted that they would be able to notice a colleague was struggling with their mental health. 37% went even further and said they became concerned about a colleague over the pandemic. 56% of women, compared to 45% of men, feel as though they should put a brave face on at work since returning to the office environment. Pleasantism is also affecting young people rising into employment. 44% of men and 61% of women aged 16 to 24 are struggling with returning to a working educational environment following the pandemic and subsequent lockdowns. This could be due to the fact that many young people haven't had the opportunity to gain work experience even the past 18 months, meaning that their entry into the workplace can be highly stressful. Pleasantism can also be a prevalent struggle in the workplace that don't have a positive community and work culture. In workspaces that neglected staff well-being, it is difficult to discuss genuine feelings, leading to a rise in Pleasantism, as well as the possibility of presentation, absenteeism, and leavism. This can be easily eradicated with a healthier working attitude. Drop us a question or a comment in the chat about your situation and your thoughts, or if you're watching on catch up, leave a comment. As always, we read the chat, we read the comments, and if we need to get back to anybody, yes, we will. You can also contact us privately via our email addresses in the description above. Thank you for taking the time to listen.
And we're back in the room. Well done, Ian. That was
Yes,
really good.
Absolutely. And I love the background. Where was that?
Yes,
It was
well, now
midway
you know.
between. It's a mid-Atlantic background noise.
Ah,
Did you like the graphics I put in, Ian?
Yes, I did actually. Yes,
Cool
very
dude.
nice, very
Cool
very
dude.
appropriate. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, it's just aimed at making people aware what's happening out there. And I think, as did say one paragraph there, I think the younger generation going into the workplace now may affect them a wee bit more. So if we give them some food for thought, they might manage to take something positive, take it forward, and take it into their team and what have you.
Cool.
What I would like to ask is, how many of the guys that's been returning to their work, has your workplace changed? I know a lot of people sat individually at desks, but many people in big organizations sat at little wee clusters, maybe half a dozen in the cluster, and a team leader onto your manager and what have you on that. Another question I'd like to ask the guys, do you have a lot to do with your human resources departments? Because I think human resources, especially in the big organizations, has a major part to play in this, and especially in the mental health awareness side of things. That's, as I say, that's my opinion at this moment in time.
So
I think
Pleasanteeism, Yuliani. What do you think?
Well, it's a interesting topic and word, by the way, and I feel it still has a lot to do, like we said last week, with balance, balancing things out. Work-life balance comes to mind when I hear that word, as a part of a solution for. For not having to put on this mask at work, because a company is made up of people, and we all go through ups and downs in life. So if we put on a mask constantly, then it's not really helpful for our mental health and for our health in general. So working on our own balance and staying authentic to ourselves, to others, and honest. And I know it's in some of the workplaces it might be challenging to be open and honest about how you feel, how much stress certain tasks might provoke. That can be seen as a weakness quite easily. But pushing it away and not talking about it is not really moving forward, and it's not really the solution, because oftentimes when a conversation is started, we find that more and more other people might feel the same way, and they are happy to have a spokesperson that somebody came out with exactly that kind of challenge. So maybe being more courageous in speaking about how you feel, and be honest with yourself and with others, saying how you feel about certain tasks, and if you cannot cope in this very moment with being social with coworkers, that is fine as well, because the pandemic, yes, it has, I think, delivered a lot of repercussions in our lives, especially people going back to workplace. It can be overwhelming, and being used to working from home and maybe not having that constant interaction with others, and then going back and being there again can be quite overwhelming.
Looking at the Pleasanteeism as a new thing, don't you think that also that there's always been certain industries that make you be nice to customers and other co-workers, and so that it's not really new that people have been putting on a front.
No.
And also I think that not showing your feelings in the workplace is also a very old an old thing. So this Pleasanteeism as a new ism, to me is something that's always been there. It's just somebody's trying to bring attention to that particular thing. But I don't think that buttonholing these things is going to help you address them more. I think it's basic human decency, basic trust in other humans that you need to foster, and you can only foster that in an environment that isn't selfish, and an environment that feels that they're able to say what they want without thinking of the other people's feelings. So there's a big thing on now with free speech, and I can say what I want and my opinion and me. And it's been going on for the past 20 years, I would say, that people are getting more selfish and more self-reliant, basically because they don't feel safe anymore in the world. And they don't think that they have this... I think that people are now worse off because they don't have the social structures that we used to have when I was younger. The door's always open. The street life, if you like, the neighborliness. I think that's going away, and everybody's looking after themselves because they have to, because nobody else is going to look after them, because there's no network anymore. There's no social network anymore. I don't want to get into a political thing anymore, but I think that politics has to do with mental health. If the government can't give you an environment where you can thrive, where you don't feel pressured into taking maybe a job you hate, or having not leaving a job because your boss is terrible, then I think if we had something like universal basic income, where people would have the choice of jobs, so we say, well, I will rather do nothing for 6 months while looking for an ideal job, and I don't lose my house, so something like that.
Yeah, that's maybe okay, Tim. I agree with some of the points that you were saying there. But what we're looking at, what I see now is it's trying to help the people. It's especially in teams, as we said, Pleasantism. A lot of people put on a brave front, as we'll say. If somebody can recognize there's something not right, how do we go about trying to ease the pressure on that person?
Change the government.
Maybe
solves the answer.
Change the government.
I know what you mean.
Another way is make more people aware of what's going on.
But the thing is, I don't think the problem is that people aren't aware of it. I think the problem is that people don't care.
I think in the end, it's action. Awareness is one of the first steps. Yes, and it helps hugely to be aware, to see up front what's going on and what's maybe there and needed to be cleaned and needed to be attended. But in the end, it's action. And we cannot only rely on a company fixing it for us, or on the government fixing it for us, or looking outwards to for anybody to fix something. We have to create it also ourselves and be putting in that work for our own selves, creating this balance. Again, here we are with balance.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. But what I'm postulating that the people who know what's going on and the people who see somebody that's having a problem and those people who feel like they need to step in and help, they're already doing it. So you're preaching to the choir there. The people who are not doing that or are unaware of the situation, maybe now they'll look and maybe now they'll step in. But there is an endemic portion of the population that don't do that and also would see you not putting on a pleasant face in the workplace as, oh, she's just a moaner, or or he's a complainer. So there's the negative side to it. So what you have to do is to create an environment, and the environment has to be safe enough for you to be able to tell people in no uncertain cases what you want from other people, what you want as a social interaction in the workplace. And being sort of pleasant and putting on a brave face, as I said, has been going since the grin and bear it days, you know. I mean, women used to stay in marriages by putting on a brave face, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's men didn't, I think. They were just complainers and left, I think. I know. But you know, it's great to do it, but the people who are willing to make the change and do the help are already doing it. And so it's getting the environment in a place where other people feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
Because you can't force it.
It is. I think it has to do with openness, being comfortable about it, and it's not gone. I'm not saying like, okay, we should all bitch about, or we should all say moan about things. It's not really about that. But if we feel the need to talk about something that is going on, then that should be possible. Yep. And it should be we should be felt heard. But then also what I wanted to say is, and I'm gonna just give an example. Just brought back something from my own life when I used to work in the hotel. There were definitely time periods where I felt very low because of personal things going on with my family at that time. I don't know how much you know, but at this very moment, my dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. My mom was taking care of him, and those were very difficult times, and having to be there for people and putting on a brave face sometimes was a struggle, yes, and at the same time, I'm definitely saying that it helped through a period of time that was quite dark, but it brought also some light, because it was in that moment putting on a brave face, but it also encouraged to maybe turn on a switch that we all have in our mind, and it's just a matter of perception, which is not to say that I did not go out and tell people about the situation, and please be more understanding. I talked to my boss, for instance, back then. I said to her, please be more understanding if in this very moment, in this very time period, I'm not like 100% there, and that was being honest and authentic about the situation. So yeah, just wanted to mention that that at the same time it can also ignite that switch and that shift in perception.
That's
But-
true.
Yeah.
Ian?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. What I would maybe move a step further on, in the office environment, I'm looking at a team, say a team of 6 people. Now, how would they go about keeping themselves motivated and happy within their team to prevent this facade of how they look and how they work? I mean, do they get themselves involved in, say, a small club within their own group? Do they meet up, say, at barbecues to keep their own self going, to promote more positive stuff? That's, as I say, that's just a couple of things. Do they do team building? Do you go out and keep team building? That always keeps your outlook up. It's a case of keeping yourself positive and going forward. Now, but I would say by doing that, it would rub off on other people. Let's face it, it happens in the whole world. And if we can help 1 or 2 people in the whole world to take a positive step, that will rub off onto other people.
That's good.
It's more the younger generation. It's coming into the workplace. We have to try and teach them what they're coming into, because if they all go into work with a mask on their face, as you said, Juliana, what's the world going to come to? How are we going to live?
Exactly right. Christina's got a clicker.
Yeah,
Yeah, please.
I can't talk a lot today because I'm out of work life.
You're out of work. I can give you a job.
You got the hardest job here.
Yeah. To cope with this guy, yeah.
So there you go, Chris. There's your camera. Tell them how bad done you are by coping with me.
Got a great life, really.
So do you ever put on a brave face, is what the people are asking?
No, never.
No? If you've got to moan, you moan immediately, right?
Yeah.
And profusely.
And I always say when I'm not feeling so great, then I look grumpy. Like with our current situation that put me down a bit.
That put me down a bit, but I shouldn't have told you, to tell you the truth.
Told me.
No, I should have just paid it and then that'd have been it.
No. We gotta try together to save money, not to touch it out.
Yeah, but you don't spend any money whatsoever. Ever.
Right.
Well, you do.
And you can,
€9 a month for your books.
Yeah.
That's not fair, Christina.
She never spends any money.
I'm sorry to butt in here, Christine, but I have a comment from Tina Rigby, and it's exactly what I was saying. I work in a team of 10 people. We support each other well and look out for each other because we all get along and we are friends. We socialise where we can. This is what we're trying to generate. This is what we're trying to put out into the world. We need more people in teams like that. It can do things and socialise. Okay, it's not everybody. It's probably not everybody in the team that would maybe want to go in, but there is few people. Yes, they'll go to barbecues, they'll go to 10-pin bowling alleys and things like that. And at the same time, incorporate your HR departments as well. Just don't go to your HR department and tell them what you're doing. Get them involved in it. They're the people. They're the people that's getting paid the money to look after the people in these big organizations.
There's a good German saying, and I can translate it after I've said it, but I think Yuliani will know what I mean. Is the HR used to be called personnel, right?
Yeah.
It used to be called personnel, and then it became human resource. And the Germans say die Arbeiter sind der Mittelpunkt.
Uh-huh.
And then it became the Arbeiter sind der Mittelpunkt.
Punkt.
So it used to be that the workers were in the middle, were the central figure, and now the difference between Mittelpunkt, which is like the central figure, and Mittel means they are the resource. Punkt means full stop. So people are not seen as personnel anymore in big companies. They're seen as resources to be allocated where and when without any typical. I'll give you an example. A good friend of mine, he worked 40 years in the same job. He got to a certain stage and got stuck at a certain stage because I don't know why. Maybe he didn't want to move, or he didn't have the correct degree or whatever. But he got stuck in the last position that he was in, and I ended up as a young lad going into the same department as him, and he'd seen it all. And I was in there, and I was like Jack the Lad and everything. But we became good friends after a while. And unfortunately, he retired, and not so long after he retired, he died. So I wrote to HR to say, if you want to do something, Mr. What's he called's dead. And they said, when did he die? Because we have to stop his pension. You know? And that to me was the totally wrong... the totally wrong thing to say. I was informing them so that they could say one of the guys who's worked for us for over 40 years and retired has died early, if you like, yeah. And all they could think of was stopping his widow getting money, and I fell out with them over that.
Alan Fraser's got a cracker. I work 400 miles from my office.
I've met her.
I had my Christmas party in a phone box. Good on you, Alan.
When my brother-in-law was a policeman, he was following this guy, and he'd drive this truck. It was a bus, it was. He was driving this bus. There was only him in it. And he'd stop in a lay-by, then he'd get out and have a drink or something and put a hat on and then blow a stream up. Then he'd drive a bit more, and then he'd stop in another lay-by and do the same, put a hat on, have a drink, and go... Anyway, the police stopped him after a while, and they said, what are you doing? He said, I'm self-employed, it's the works outing.
No, Alan just had a bottle of Buckfast. They pour it on their cornflakes and Cumbernauld, it says. Alan.
I assume Buckfast is some sort of schnapps or something, is it?
It's just a small bottle of, yeah.
Have you had a barraquito yet, Ian?
Oh, yes.
Of course.
I've already had one or two here.
Ooh,
I always make a point. I go and have one or two places that really make them spot on.
Yes.
The way I like them.
Are you going to share the places, or are they secret?
There's one place. I think you actually passed it today. Actually, in your walking.
Did I?
It's just under that area that where they're supposed to be doing the new market or whatever it is.
Okay.
There's a nice wee restaurant there next door to the ice cream place.
Okay, we saw that. That was I think that was where you can get the 3-course meal there as well for $10.95. Was that the one?
That is excellent. There's a young girl makes them, and she's absolutely spot on.
Cool, dude. Mm-hmm. And don't forget the Gelato Fortuna. You can get milkshakes with ice cream as well. They're really good.
Right.
They are really good.
Good.
You get any 2 scoops of any flavour and they make it into a milkshake for you.
Yeah.
I'm not snoring.
You're not snoring.
No.
And Smiler's on from New Zealand. Hi, and Smiler. Okay, so Damien's going home late Saturday and Colin's coming in early Saturday, so it looks like Saturday lunchtime is going to be some debauchery, Chris.
What does that mean?
It means that you're breakfasting alone and I'll come back drunk.
No. Those days are over, pal.
What, you want to come? Last week she told me don't come home drunk. I had to ask somebody I could stay with them.
Old joke.
There's a whole joke. Yeah, an old joke. There you go.
Help. Oh, dear.
Okay, we've been on for 46 minutes. The McMaster has now announced, I think, that he's coming over next week. And he contacted me today, and we're going to do a vlog together. We haven't organised the day yet, but it might be live. And if he's free on Wednesday night, we could invite him to Balcony Banter.
That would be lovely,
That would be lovely.
wouldn't it?
If not, then we'll go and do fish and chips at the Palms or something like that.
Yes.
Or one of the two. So there will be a McMaster and Living with MS in Tenerife collaboration. I don't know whether it'll be live or just a vlog. What I will do, though, is I'm going to try and do an interview with him offline so that we can cut it, with the big camera, like I did with Scotsman in Tenerife. And that'll be a nice one. So I want to do that. So I'm hoping if that's the only time I get to see him, then I'll interview him. But if he's got time to come on one of the lives, either Meet Up Monday or Freaky Friday, then we'll do that. So if anybody else is on the island thinking of coming up to Meet Up Monday, I've put a new website up. So you go to timothydowd.com and press the Meet button. But it'll take you now to it's the same page, but now there's going to be a list of all the Meet Up Mondays that are being planned and where they are. And next Monday is going to be in La Terraza Sueno Azul. So that was the one we were in, not this week, but the week before, where everybody joined in, where there was 3 couples and Damien. And so last week, or the one that's just gone, we were back in the Terraza down here, but we're going to the other one on Monday. So if you want to join us on Monday, it's going to be up there. Don't forget to register online so we know how many people are coming and we get the number of tables correct. And you can just stay for drinks and then leave and go to have dinner somewhere else, or you can stay for dinner. They do some beautiful food. We'll probably just have starters this week.
Yeah.
Because we're tightening our belts, So, what else? I can do this, look. That's pretty cool.
Good.
Hang on. Let's solo me and then put... Oh, no, I can't do it like that. I can do them one at a time. Julie in the corner. Hi, Julie. She goes away and then ring Ian in. That's good.
That's you in the corner.
That's me in the corner. That's Yuliani. So, Yuliani, what's happening with you this week?
I had a lovely weekend, actually. I did a workshop together with a collaboration, and there was, it was a fashion swap, sustainable fashion.
Say that again.
Sustainable fashion swap.
A fashion swap.
Swap.
Like a bring and buy sale.
No.
Okay.
No sales.
No sales.
No sales.
Oh,
No. It's like you bring clothes that you have from your wardrobe that you don't need any longer. But nice pieces like.
So not my underpants with the holes in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also we're looking. Yeah, it was more brands that are doing more slow fashion. So not fast fashion. items.
And also sustainable and no sweatshops in India or China and
That's
stuff like
it,
that. Okay,
exactly.
Yeah.
So handing in those pieces, and then you could get new pieces for your wardrobe if you wanted to.
So drop off a piece of socks, a pair of socks, and pick up a sable coat.
For instance, but I mean, I'm wearing one of the pieces tonight, the
nice.
beautiful green outfit. So yeah,
Right.
I'm quite happy with that. And I did a workshop, which was called, it was in Spanish, Ordena tu armario, ordena tu mente, and in English it would be spring clean your mind, basically.
Organize your wardrobe.
Yeah.
Organize your mind.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what. If my wardrobe, if my mind was organized like my wardrobe, I would be crazy. I tell you.
You're crazy.
What do you mean I am crazy?
I've been trying for 2 years now to make you
Organize me.
organize the
The
wardrobe.
thing is, I know where everything is.
Yeah.
So it's for me. It's organized.
Yeah, there's order in the chaos, isn't it?
Of course. I know.
Yeah, that's right.
Order.
That's right. Yeah.
Order and chaos. Yeah, but simply the preparation for that event, for cleaning out the wardrobe, was it was really liberating. Actually, it really helps to get stuff out. And go through everything, and then I was exchanged only 10 pieces, but I gave away much more to clean out a little bit, and to make space, to make space for.
So are you going shopping anytime soon?
No. It's not about that. It's more space. Because we got way too much.
What did I see? What I saw today, in fact, there was a thing called, what was that? What was that wardrobe called? A capsule wardrobe principle.
Okay.
It's capsule wardrobe principle, and basically the capsule wardrobe is you empty your wardrobe completely, and then you create, depending on the year, on the time of year, you create outfits that go together
Yeah.
and can be mixed and matched.
Yeah.
So you maybe only have like 5 tops and 4 bottoms, right?
Yeah.
But each of the 5 tops goes with at least 2 of the bottoms, and so that if you mix them, it's like those old books where you could do the top and bottom bit different. You could come up with 15 or 20 outfits out of a few clothes. And they call that capsule wardrobe principle.
Okay.
And I think the word capsule is also in the fashion industry for a small select group of clothes, or
Okay.
what do they call it in fashion? When they have a fashion show.
Catwalk.
No, the actual clothes themselves.
The items.
Selection or something.
The selection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see what you guys are saying.
It's a lot, huh?
Sorry, Tim, I'm leaving. Says Sarah Charles. See ya. Sarah Y. Ibiza. There you go.
Oh, the hippie market.
Land at
Oh,
11:30.
yes, definitely.
Cole lands at 11:30. There you go. So be in the bar at 12:30.
I'm gonna pour you a drink. That sounds not too good.
Thank you. It's me. I'm talking too much. I've got to do a night party somewhere looking at Las Dallas hippie market and getting a taxi boat there. All right.
Spot on, Sarah. Spot on.
Hippie markets are great. I love them.
Oh yeah, especially the one that she's talking about there. There's also one just on the outskirts of Escanaba, which
That's
is
the one I went to.
Yeah, a really big one. Yeah, yeah, brilliant.
Okay, they're all talking amongst themselves. So, Christina Lee,
Yeah.
what's your plans for next week?
Next week, you mean Wednesday or
I mean, anything you want to tell them.
next week? I haven't even planned anything. We're getting a new oven.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure my husband will cook great food on it.
I like it.
That's me. That's me. What else?
What else? Let me think.
You're being attacked by the microphone now.
I haven't planned anything really.
So it's same old, same old. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think there was something else I read today is the world. What did they say? Let me just think for a second. But basically, it was to do with the world doesn't want happy people, because if you were happy, you wouldn't consume, and the world needs consumers, right? Because the world is built on never-ending growth, so you have to consume and throw away to be able to make the world work. So they don't want people happy. They want people who are unhappy with their looks, so they sell makeup and anti-aging cream. They want people who are unhappy with their bodies, so they do slimming or fattening programs. They want people unhappy with the way they think, so they get I don't know, whatever it is. So they just want people to be unhappy so that they buy things to make them happy. So if you are happy in your skin, you don't really care what other people think, and you don't take yourself too seriously, then that is the perfect way for you to be. But unfortunately, the economy would collapse. So you got to make the decision.
Yeah, but maybe the planet would be saved.
Well, the planet's going to be okay. The planet will be okay. The planet is either a fireball or an ice ball, right? This planet we live on is either a fireball or an ice ball. That's the two stable states of the planet. We are in a small millisecond of the planet at the moment, which is transferring from one or the other. And that allows us to have life, right? But the planet will be here long after us.
Yeah, so people won't be here.
Yeah, so don't think about it. Don't
Enjoy your time while you're here, and be real, be authentic.
Ian, final thoughts?
Yes, I enjoy myself while I am on this earth, right to my bitter end.
You're looking pretty brown there, Ian. Have you been out in the sun there in Dundee today?
Got some sun in between the rain showers, but it's been quite wet. But it's good for the plants in the garden. It gives them a wee bit peck up, and they like that.
I like the beds. I like the sort of like the hotel vibe you've got ongoing there at home.
It was just something new that we decided to incorporate into our house. Just something to change, something to remind you of your holidays.
Well done, well done. And ladies and gentlemen, this is for you. Look at that.
You won't miss this view, will you?
I won't miss this view, no. Well, I would if I had to move, but I don't have to move.
Yeah.
There you go. Let me just show you the shed setup before you go on. If you're new here, this is what we use. We use an iPad to control everything. This is my camera, and then I've got the other camera on this side for the girls, and then this is the runabout camera. So if we go over to this one, this is the one that I use just to do everything else. Cool dude. Right. Do we know what's on next week?
Yes, I do actually. But before I finish, I'll say thank you to everybody that made comments there, and go out there, be strong, and help the mentally awareness weeks coming up. I'll finish up with a couple of wee poems. They're not very long this time. Find a group of people who challenge and inspire you. Spend a lot of time with them and it will change your life. Don't wait for people to be friendly. Show them how. Sometimes all you need to do is be there and listen. Next week, we'll change the mode a wee bit again, and we'll have a relaxing time. A small video that Juliana did called Ocean Times.
Oh, we're back in the room. Ladles and jelly spoons. This is Tim, Chris, Julie, and Ian for living with MS in Tenerife and Balcony Banter, saying thank you for watching. I'd like to thank each and every one of you. We do go back and read all the comments if we can, and definitely if you put something in here that we might have missed and you want us to know, then put it again in the comment section after we're finished. Don't forget to nip over and say hello to, is it Rick on tonight? Is it Wind Down Wednesday tonight? I'm not sure whether Rick's on tonight.
Not sure.
Or if you haven't watched it yet, go and see the McMasters on Catch Up. And we got 50 people watching, so they've all gone. So thank you for everybody for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Vamos a la playa.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget Freaky Friday, I'll be out and about. And if anybody's on the island wants to meet up with me, just let me know. timothydown.com and send me an email.
Oh.